The last video I did about the Superego settlement, I'm reading the comments, and some of y'all got a question on the taxes. We got some confusion about, does the driver have to pay taxes on the negative check? Some of y'all saying he do, some of y'all was saying he doesn't, and Andrew's gonna tell you which one it is. But first, I want you to think about it. He's got a lot of write-offs: truck note, trailer note, fuel, insurance, bobtail, and whatever else crap is on there. All this stuff is write-offs. He's got a lot of write-offs. He also got a negative check. Do he got to pay taxes? What do you think? Do you think he has to pay taxes at the end of the year? If he keep this negative settlement going on for the rest of the year, will he have to pay taxes? Well, not even. Let's just say this settlement right here. Will he have to pay taxes on this one settlement? Just focus on the one settlement. Gross 9,300. After Superego took their 25%, he was at 6,000 something. Then after all the deductions, some kind of way he was negative. Okay. Well, are you ready for the answer? Because the answer may shock you. Will he have to pay taxes? Now, if y'all do y'all taxes, then you should know the answer. Let me say it again. Truck note is a write-off. Trailer note a write-off. Fuel a write-off. Insurance a write-off. Bobtail, cargo, all that crap that's on that settlement, all that stuff is a write-off. But will he have to pay taxes? Well, if you guessed yes, then you got it right. He will have to pay taxes. You say, wait, nah, Andrew, nah, no, he don't, Andrew, because all that stuff is a write-off. How you gonna pay taxes on a negative paycheck? See, this is what happens when you lease a truck. This is what happens when you lease a truck. When it comes to taxes, this ain't no negative check. Did you hear what I said? When it comes to taxes, if I was to write him a 1099, this ain't no negative check. What do you mean, Andrew? The company he's working for wrote this check to screw him over. Notice how he grossed 9,300, but it's not on the paper. It's not on the paper for a reason. When he get his settlement to a CPA is gonna simply see, okay, brother, you gross 6,000, and after all these deductions, looks like you don't owe anything. That's what the settlement is gonna read when the CPA get it. However, at the end of the year, when he get that 1099, guess what that 1099 gonna say? It ain't gonna say, brother, you gross 6,000. It's gonna say, brother, you gross 9,000. It ain't gonna show no 25% went to Superego. It ain't gonna show that at all. It's gonna show you gross 9,300. The CPA is only gonna be able to account for 6,000 something in deductions. That 2,000 some dollars that Superego kept. You paying taxes on that? Why? Because it's not on the settlement. The settlement doesn't show that 25% that they took. So you're gonna be screwed. So yeah, you just keep going down this path, and you take all this stuff to a proper CPA, and you will be paying taxes on money you didn't even make. That's so sad that they wrote this settlement to screw him over. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Y'all thought y'all got it right, didn't you? You didn't get it right. This is the games Mr. Charlie played. Mr. Charlie got it. The hamster wheel. See, here we go again. First of all, they started this hamster wheel in the early 70s. And every single year, they just slow it down to let new people on. And once these people get on, they speed that sucker up, and they don't slow it down for nothing. So you just keep going on this hamster wheel, and when you get that 1099 at the end of the year, first of all, the driver is not even gonna notice that the 25% ain't on. Is the driver ain't gonna notice on his 1099. He gonna take that 1099 and give it to his tax account. He ain't gonna think nothing of it, and they're gonna give him his bill. And what the driver gonna do with his bill? He gonna try to, well, what he gonna do is he ain't gonna use no CPA, because the CPA gonna set him straight with that big tax bill. What he gonna do is, nah, we ain't doing no CPA. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna write it off. How you gonna do that? Well, I'm gonna show I paid more in fuel than I really did, because the only way I'm gonna get caught is if the IRS hiding me. So that's how I'm gonna get away with it. And that's what the driver gonna do. That's what he gonna do. Okay. So will he owe taxes? Yes. Have the Soontai guys found a way to get their tax bill paid? Of course. How do they get their tax bill paid? They just do it on his settlement. Let me say that again. How is Superego gonna get rid of this $2,300 that they collected off this driver? It's real simple. They gonna throw it on his 1099, and when they throw it on his 1099, when they go to their CPA, they gonna say, "Hey, we paid that driver $9,300." It's a write-off for them. The whole thing, the whole 9,300 they paid him is a write-off. However, when he do his taxes, uh, he ain't gonna be able to account for that 25% because it's not on the settlement. And he ain't even gonna catch it. The CPA ain't gonna know to look for it. The CPA gonna read that settlement as it's wrote. You look like you gross 6,900 after all these deductions. You don't owe anything. That's what the settlement say. But it started at 6,900. His 1099 gonna start at 93, and they gonna be like, well, since we can't write off nothing for this 93 because you only got 6,900 in deductions, looks like you gotta pay taxes on the 2,300. And you do that every single settlement. You do it every single settlement for a whole year. You got a big tax bill. See how the Soontai guys is? They screwing you over each and every way. First of all, you're paying for the truck, you're paying for the trailer, you're paying to have your own authority. And instead of paying a freaking factoring company 3%, you paying a factoring company 25%. 25%. What's 1,700 times 12? How much are you paying for your authority with no control? 1,700 times 12. $20,000. That's not bad. That's not bad. 1,700 a month. $20,000 for the year. Hey, that ain't too bad. That ain't too bad. Problem is, it's cost you 25%. Oh, let me see it. The way that you guys would know, he paying 25% for dispatching. You know how you go and you've been paying $2,000 for them ebooks, and they've been showing you how to do the dispatching. $2,000 course, read the code. That 25%, that's your 25%. Baby girl, that bought the ebook, that's your 25%. They got the game down pat. They paid the $2,000 for the ebook, and they said, oh, we just charge drivers 25%, and we ain't got to pay the tax on the money. We take the money and put the tax bill on him. It's a cold game they running. It's a cold game they running. Mm, 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 mm. So Andrew, what if he catch it on his 1099? Okay, let's say he did. Hey brother, wait a minute. This is too much money on my 1099. Once again, he can't show the 25% deductions because it's not on no paperwork. It ain't on no settlement. How is he going to explain the 25% deduction on 9,300? What paperwork does he ain't got no proof? And not only that, keep in mind, by the time the end of the year comes, let's just say the end of next year, he gonna be fired anyway. Well, not fired, he gonna be done quit. So he ain't even gonna be working there anyway. Matter of fact, we can just use the end of this year. He ain't gonna. By the time they send that 1099 in February to his house, he ain't even gonna be working there anyway. Trying to run some 5,000 miles a week. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. So disgusting. Mm, 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 mm. But it's everybody's fault, except the fool holding the steering wheel.